This is June 26th, Warsaw, the Little Saigon restaurant beside the airport. This chapter is called For Russia to Occupy Kharkiv. The book is The Shield of Europe, Notes from Ukraine, and I've presented a number of the chapters, which you'd notice are standalone essay type chapters, which so the book can be perused. You can read a couple of the chapters and at a time, and it doesn't have to be read through like a narrative. So the chapter is called For Russia to Occupy Kharkiv, which I first wrote in Nikolaev on the 4th of June, updated on the 14th in Kyiv, and again in Warsaw today. The chapter title emphasizes that the Russian forces might only attempt again to occupy Kharkiv. It would be a temporary state. They will never conquer Kharkiv. Since I've left, a sector of the Russian front north of Kharkiv has made advances southward to, on June 4th, within roughly 10 kilometers of the outskirts of the city, creating a bulge in the overall shape of the front in the region. This slow Russian advance has continued southward as of the 14th. It is still, in my opinion, most likely a feint, a diversion to keep as much of the Ukrainian forces pinned down in defense of the city. At the same time, it may be an attempt to thwart anticipated Ukrainian counter-offensives there or elsewhere along the front. Those Ukrainian counterattacks are coming. In some respects, they've already begun. They're happening here, north of Nikolaev, towards occupied Kherson. At some point, almost certainly this year, perhaps as early as later this summer, Ukraine will begin counteroffensives in the center of the front lines as well, near to where the Russians have lately concentrated their war efforts, the Donbass region around the cities of Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. It's worth considering what another Russian all-out attempt to take Kharkiv would require. For over a month, Russia has put the vast majority of its efforts to taking the city of Severodonetsk, a city with a pre-war population of several hundred thousand. The vast majority of those citizens evacuated to safety. To safety in Ukraine, I might add, should be emphasized. How many fled instead towards safety in Russia, Russian-controlled territory, or Russia itself, is not known. At this point, after tremendous losses, true on both sides, Russia seems to control what's left of the city. It required a Russian force of 50,000 infantry or more, many or most of them conscripts from the Russian-controlled Ukrainian territory, and those Russian forces took many thousands of casualties. No one can know for sure because Russia publishes no reliable casualty figures. And the city, of course, in true Russian fashion, was largely destroyed. Kharkiv is a city a full order of magnitude larger than Severodonetsk, entirely controlled, including the close suburbs, by Ukrainian forces. Back in the early stages, in late February and early March, when Russia anticipated easy victories, it made a drive to capture the city with limited forces, and Kharkiv was one of the places it found out the hard way that there would be no easy victories in Ukraine. We can anticipate then that it would require at a minimum a force twice as great as has been used against Severodonetsk for a new assault on Kharkiv. Quite likely they'd need closer to 200,000 ground troops in support of their armor. Of course, the lovely city would then lay in ruins, and there would be tens of thousands more dead. If another assault comes, Ukraine will find the force it needs to defend Kharkiv, despite how costly the effort Where will Russia find 200,000 new troops to make the attempt? More conscripts from the Donbass? The Belarusian army? Will Belarus destroy its army to help Russia conquer Kharkiv? Or will Russia itself somehow find the necessary draftees and reservists? The Ukrainian government might actually welcome such another battle for Kharkiv, despite its costs, as it may then definitively destroy the Russian invading army, and the war would reach a new point of culmination. This happened outside of Kyiv in late March. Warsaw, June 26th.